Hey, what's up, Pisces? How y'all doing? This is for June 19th to the 25th. It's your weekly reading. I got a 5-card standard spread. I'm going to do past, present, hidden influences, advice, likely outcome. Let's see what's going on with the Pisces. Okay, that 10 of Pentacles, past. Legacy and wealth. That's a good one. King of Pentacles reversed for the present. Okay. Taurus. Ace of Swords reversed for hidden influences. Have to come to terms with an ending. Empress reversed for the advice. Eight of Swords reversed for the likely outcome. Okay, we got a few reversed right here. But I think it's a good opportunity right now. Got 2 Pentacles and a couple Swords too. The Venusian Empress. All right, so past. It looks like we had an experience of wealth. I mean, one thing I will say about this card is that it's establishing a legacy. The old man there, he has wisdom. That's what he's sending down with his family, and the wisdom, the wealth is a result of the wisdom that he's had as he's cultivated this over a long period of time. But I will say this is it's a Pentacle wealth financial card, but there seems to be a disconnect among the people here. It's like the dogs are giving him attention, but the people are kind of operating independently. Like the child is looking out to the side. The couple there is kind of glancing past each other. So even though there's this stability, maybe there's this lack of cohesion. And then for the present, there's a King of Pentacles reversed. So I don't know, maybe we had an idea that something was going to work out well for us, but now we're kind of maybe seeing some flaws in that plan, or like in the past we had the drive to establish something, and maybe now we've kind of focused more on the near term, tending to the near term, versus like growing these grapes, tending to them little by little at a time. So maybe some of that energy has worn off on this long-term path right now. We had this long-term focus before, but now it's, hey, let's just do for right now, and let's focus on the now, and kind of. So maybe this was like you're diverting savings, or you're spending more for current things than those long-term plans that were established previously. So that hidden influence is the Ace of Swords reversed. So when I see the reverse card, I go back to the previous, which would be the Ten of Swords, and that's accepting the ending of something. So maybe there was this plan that was developed. We thought it was going to take hold and lead to long-term success. It didn't exactly work out that way, but maybe there's a tendency to hang on to that for a bit more. Like we were on that path for a while, changed gears, or that plan didn't work out, and now there's instead of being able to start on the new thing, kind of having that mental clarity to go forward, to establish the new plan, putting it into effect. I would tend to think the sword has to do more with the planning process than the action. That would be more the wand to me. So instead of planning for the new thing, we're still kind of stuck on the past thing, and that's why it's down. So the advice, I mean, we could look back there. It's kind of, this is what I'm getting on the advice too with the Empress upside down, is this would go back to the High Priestess. And so before the bounty, before this kind of pentacle bounty or wealth bounty, the seeds have to be planted, which means you got to have that planning process to know, like, all right, well, the past thing didn't work. Now we're going to do this new thing. We're going to plant the seeds for this bounty to grow. And then we know ultimately it's going to harvest, or we're going to learn whether it harvests or not. And I think it's mainly taking that new approach and not being afraid to do so. Be able to have, she can be shown as being pregnant, so she's ready to give birth to the new thing as well. This would call back to going back into the planning process and kind of seeking what you have envisioned for this legacy, for this plan. Is it just money? Is there more to do with, establishing a home for a family or relationship? And then we've got this Eight of Swords reversed. So Eight of Swords is kind of a self-imposed restriction. It seems very consistent here throughout, of like maybe there's an inability to want to move on to the next thing. This is going back to the Seven of Swords, which has to do with kind of being tactful, and another sword. So it's another mental card. But we've seen maybe there's opposition in certain areas for us to roll out this plan. Maybe other people want us to do it another way. Instead of fighting them head on, there's ways to be tactful about it, to make sure that you're doing the things that you think are best, and you can accommodate or acknowledge the other people that have their opinions. Really, the Seven of Swords is the man he's kind of in the enemy camp as they have their tent set up. And instead of fighting them head on, he goes when they're not paying attention, and he takes their weapons away from them. So there's a tactfulness and avoidance of that head on, like that fight, having it out. So I think there's an opportunity there, I think, for creating that best situation for you, and taking into account the other people around you, what their thoughts are. And then there can be a decision made. There can be a plan that, ultimately it has to satisfy you. You can't satisfy everybody else, but you can take into account what other people have to say. So maybe this does have to do with some sort of legacy or family establishment. Yeah, maybe it's like dealing with some sort of inheritance. Kind of getting that too. Where it's like, yeah, maybe you're not going to be able to please everybody, but it still would be worthwhile to go forward and accept there's an ending to a certain circumstance. And then you have to be the one, you have that mental strength to know that your plan is the best. And even though other people might criticize it, you can be okay with that as well. It's that strength of mind factor. So hope you guys enjoyed this, Pisces. I'll check you on the next one. Have a good week.